regarding to Open BIM Quantities, view of quantities, no, project management, we have a feature here. Actually, this was implemented some versions ago, but I think we didn't include it in our previous webinars. And now there are some improvements in this feature. So let me show a little bit how it works and where are those new features, or those new improvements. I'm talking about this option here, tables of amounts that are available here in the quantities of the BIM model tab. Remembering that Open BIM Quantities is divided into tabs. Here where we extract the quantities from the BIM model, and here where we generate our BOQ. So this button is available here, and it's a place where we can create different tables and then export these tables or filter elements of our model. Okay, for example, let's imagine I want to create a table with all the walls of my project. Okay, so I can use these options here to select elements from my BIM model and then create columns with the different parameters that are available in these IFCs that we imported here at Open BIM Quantities. Okay, for example, let's create a selection that everything that is equal to, for example, something with the entity called IFC wall, for example, IFC wall. Okay, so we'll select these elements. Okay, every element that is an IFC wall, it will be included in this table. It's quite similar to that process that we usually do when we are creating the rules for measurement that we have to connect the BIM model with the cost database. So we can also select elements from the BIM model. So here is the same situation. Okay, we can even mix different selections here. For example, creating all the walls and all the I don't know, all the walls and all the slabs. This is not the case, but you can also add more lines here and then use the operator and or to combine it. Okay, and then from this walls, let's add the parameters. Okay, so here we can select the parameters that are available. For these walls, we have all these parameters here. Okay, let's imagine I want to create a column with the entity, in this case of the IFC walls. Okay, so I'll add here a name for that, entity. Okay, entity. Okay, and I can have another one that could be, for example, the name of these elements that we have in the project, name. Okay, another one that could be, for example, let's imagine when I have the type. Okay, type. We can also add here, for example, another one that is some details here, some numeric details, like, for example, the net site area. Okay, and let's add one more that could be, for example, the gross site area, for example. Okay, the gross site area, for example. And one more parameter, just to have one more. Let's add also here we can add, for example, the width, for example. Okay, the width here, width. Just some parameters. Okay, imagine you want to export this data for an Excel, CSV, or you just want to filter elements here. You can create this table of amounts. Okay, so just creating this first settings accepting here, you have this table here with all this information. Okay, here just with your right button of your mouse, you can copy the table and paste it then in Excel, for example, if you want to export this information. Okay, so this is how it works. You can create these tables here. You can save these tables to your computer and then import this same format of tables for future projects here in Open BIM Quantities. Okay, this is not actually new. I'm just showing to you because I think we couldn't show that before. I would, in a couple of seconds, I'll show to you where is the new improvement here. Here we can also add like some sorting criteria. For example, using one of the properties, for example, could be like let's imagine the the gross side area, for example, in order in ascending or descending. Okay, so I can just define what is the sorting criteria, and here it's going to be presented in that following that criteria. Okay, could be any other type of sorting criteria using the properties that came from the entity or the elements that were selected previously. Okay, another option that we have here is showing the total. Okay, so we can show the total of these elements, and yeah, we can create here different types of tables to control our project. Okay, the new feature that we have here, it's related to the conditional format that we can have for these properties here. For example, let's imagine we want to, oh, this is a spelling mistake here. It's going to be DTH. Okay, this is the correct one. Okay, so here we can establish some conditional format. Okay, this area here is new. The first thing is we can decide now the number of decimals that we have for this number. We can change the style for both, or just apply a color here to these numbers and create here a conditional format. For example, let's imagine I wanna select, or I wanna highlight all those walls which the width is more than is greater than 0.1 meters. Okay, for example, more than 10 centimeters. I can change the color for red and change also the background, for example. Accept, and I will have these walls here. Okay, highlighted here. So yeah, or for example, if I wanna let's add a second situation here. Also for the width, let's add here a second criteria that is greater than or greater less than or equal to 0.2. It's gonna be in yellow. Okay, yellow. So then I have it here. Okay, so yeah, it's a way to personalize these tables in consider conditional format. Okay, the same situation is going to be for any other change that we can apply here for the styles, the alignment, the background, the color, if it's bold, normal, or italic, and we can use it for any other property related to the 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 the, the objects that were selected in the rule that we created here before. Okay, so yeah, that's the new feature that we have here at Open BIM Quantities. It's very simple but very useful. So if you are extracting these quantities and copying that for a CSV file to have any kind of report, any kind of control that is outside from the application itself, you have these tables of amounts here. Remember, you can save these sets of tables and use it for future projects if you want.